at the Orange Park Mall in Clay County, Florida, inside the Clay County Chamber of Commerce Summer Health and Home Expo. That is going on here as well. We are all here to help you help your health. And I am specifically taking a look at kids' health today. I wanted to let you know, those of you who are here, I've got a whole bunch of notes here I got to get through, so hold on. Here, if you're here in the mall and you want to ask a question of our experts, this is Ashley. Ashley Rifo will be walking around. She's got a microphone. And Ashley, you help me with my website and my content. But you do so much more than that. So what kind of things do you get involved in?
Well, as a content creator and manager, I am a writer, editor, photographer. Basically, I help businesses to tell their story to their client in a way that is clear and authentic and also professional. And I also offer editorial services. So if somebody needs a second set of eyes to look over their stuff, I do that as well.
I love her. So she's going to be helping today. Look for her. She's got the microphone and she'll help you tailor your question because the experts can't diagnose your child. If there's something that's going on with your child broke their leg and you notice something weird, they would have to see you in the office and know your child's history and all of that. So Ashley will help you ask your question in a broader sense. Also, if you don't want to be on camera, that's what Ashley's here for. You can tell her your question and she'll ask for you. If you are online on YouTube, type in your question and Ashley will be able to see that. So thank you, Ashley. I also want to thank my sponsors. We have sponsorships here, especially our premier sponsors who are the Fiorentino Group and Marty and Mary Bear Fiorentino, my friends. Thank you guys so much for helping with this podcast episode. All right, let's meet our guests. First, we have Alan Weiss. He is a physical therapist and certified athletic trainer. He co-owns Preferred Physical Therapy, which has several locations. Alan and his wife have 3 children. So Alan, how long have you been in this field? And I want to know, what do you enjoy most about it?
So, been in this field for 28 years, been blessed to work my whole career here in Clay County. My wife likes to remind me, we started this journey, I had hair, so it's been quite a while, but definitely my passion is the high school age athlete. We've been involved in Clay County school athletics for about 15 years now, providing medical coverage to all of the high school sporting events. Definitely my passion is the high school age athlete.
I think everybody in Clay County knows you. Like literally every kid who's ever needed services.
I hope I put a memorable experience for them, but probably not everybody. But I'll take it.
Close to. Yeah. All right. We also want to say hi to Dr. Geraldine Worthy-Thayer. She is a child psychologist with Baptist Health. She has been working in the mental health field for 25 years, and she and her husband are new parents. Congratulations. How old is your daughter?
She's 7 months old.
7 months. Woo! You are about to be in the throes of it. I love it. You may be a new mom, but you know children so well, and you specialize in trauma and anxiety, ADHD. So these are all things that are affecting so many people. So tell me about your work with kids.
I think one of the most beautiful things about the work that I get to do with children is that you're able to recognize right away when they're having the growth and the change from the skills, and that so many of the skills are things that they can learn to do for themselves. It's very empowering, and I think that through the course of trauma and helping parents rebuild relationships from early childhood toddlers all the way through your developmental spans and your college age kids, that it's so rewarding as a professional to see them come through the other side of that.
And this is such a topic that is starting to be more talked about, mental health.
Absolutely.
But it's still kind of taboo in some circles, but it's very important, and so I'm very excited that you're here.
Thank you.
Dr. Sauer, Dr. Cherise Sauer, she has been a pediatrician almost 30 years at a practice, Orange Park Pediatric, which has been serving families in the community for 50 years this year. So congratulations to them. Dr. Sauer, you have been on both sides of this fence, treating generations of kids, and you and your husband have 2 kids of your own. They are old enough to be out of the house. One's in college, one's done. So talk about that perspective that you have, being a parent, and then how much you've applied that to helping other parents.
Tremendously. I did it a lot, and like Alan Weiss said, I had dark hair when I started. So it's been a while, but I have grown with my patients and my families. I have learned firsthand how humbling parenting is. That when I give advice, we all must take it with a grain of salt. That everyone takes the knowledge and advice and applies it in their own way in their own home. Every home is different. So being a parent has made me realize that. And not only is every home different, every child is different. So what works for child number 1 may not be the same thing for child 2, 3, 4, and so on.
Yes, and we all learn that like the hard way sometimes as they're coming up. So thank you for being here. Appreciate that. All right, let's start off with talking about something that sports-wise, right about now is when all of the parents are getting ready to get those sports physicals, to go in and have all that paperwork done. We're trying to figure out, does my child play sports? Do they play one sport? Do they play 2 to make sure other muscles are used? So what do you suggest when it comes to picking a sport? Do you stick with one? Is it true that you need to mix it up in different times of the year?
It is definitely recommended to play multiple sports for as long as you can get your athlete to do that. We've kind of specialized at such an early age, and we're seeing a lot more injuries that used to happen, in college and professional levels are starting to creep down, and you're seeing them in the high school and even the junior high school level because they start specializing at such a young age, where when you use the same muscles the same way for 11 months out of every year, things break. The idea of cross training, where if you're going to be a baseball player, be a swimmer, or a soccer player, play softball. Just using the muscles in different ways, develop different skill sets. There's a lot more crossover than people think. And I recommend, playing multiple sports for as long as you can get them to do so.
I was going to say, at some point, you kind of got to pick one or 2, but
it definitely becomes apparent, especially, as they, develop a love for a certain sport. But again, encouraging them to, swim for one season, and certainly make sure they have an off season, so that again we get out of the habit of playing the same thing, for 11 months out of the year.
Okay, so even though they may pick one sport, you're saying, hey, at least get involved in other things.
Definitely have to sprinkle things in, and I know particularly with my middle daughter, she would try to pack a soccer ball on vacations. Like, no, if we're going to leave the soccer ball at home, we're actually going to have a break from soccer for a week, so these things all will help.
Okay. Dr. Worthy Thayer, what parents are going to have to deal with first is getting them back on that school schedule. And I don't care. Every year, it is so hard. I mean, do you just go cold turkey? Do you just turn off the electronics and say, okay, it's the night before school, you're in bed at 9, we're done? Like, what do you do?
I mean, if you like, love that word. A lot of the time what I tell parents is to go ahead and start preparing the child at least 2 to 3 weeks ahead of the start of school. So if we've gotten really loose in our sleep schedule over the summer, and maybe we're falling asleep closer to 11:30 when we really need to be in bed by 9:30, we start to gradually throw that bedtime a little early, about 30 minutes each week, until we get to where we need to be. And that helps the child slowly adjust, because honestly, if your body's used to going down at 11:30 and lights are out at 9:30, all of a sudden you're just going to lie awake in the dark, right? So making those little baby steps helps us make that internal clock adjustment.
So how soon do you have to start with that transition? Like, is now the time? Because school starts like August 7th, 8th, 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So about now would be the time for the people who get mid-August. Maybe you can hold off till next week. But for those of us in that first week of August, we probably want to go ahead and get started.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that screen time, that is an even bigger challenge.
It is
because,
huge.
Children have their time. They want to give them a little time of that, but it kind of takes over.
It does.
So how much time before you go to bed for kids do you need to stop with the screen time?
So I tell all parents, and children hate it, all all the screens need to go bye-bye 2 hours before bedtime.
2 hours?
2 hours. Do something else. Do a quiet, relaxing activity. If you want to draw, if you want to read a book, if you want to do a puzzle, if you want to do a quiet game, fantastic. We're not using our screens. We're not using our phones, our TVs, our tablets. We're disconnecting. We're letting our brain start to power down and cycle down and relax.
I hope my kids are listening, because 2 hours is going to be a knockdown, drag out.
It is. And I tell kids, have it during the day. Like all the calm stuff you love to do during the day, swap some of that to the evening. If your kids actually like to read your way to bed. If the kids can play a quiet round of Monopoly, maybe not finish the game, but something that's very quiet and peaceful, like, okay, that's great. Let's do that. Let's have a stopping point, and then let's power down.
Okay. All right. Dr. Sauer, pediatrician. You are getting an influx of kids right now. Everybody wants to get these exams in, these touch base with you before school starts. A lot of people want to know about vaccines. You and I were talking about that beforehand. So, vaccines, there are some people who don't believe in them, who don't want vaccines. How does that affect other kids who are in school with them?
That obviously depends on which vaccine we're talking about. Some of the vaccines are, for example, measles, which is a big one. That makes a huge difference. Measles is one of the most quickly transmissible diseases. When we have one person that has measles walking into an unimmunized group, 16 people will get it. So that makes a huge effect. And so something like the measles vaccine, there is a benefit to immunizing everybody. There's a reason the immunizations are mandated for school entry, and that's to keep all the students safe. And these vaccines that are necessary for school attendance have been around for decades and decades, and definitely marked their safety. So I would not hesitate at all as a parent. I gave them to my own children. My partners are giving them to their grandchildren as well, so that's how long they've been around. And I would not hesitate to make sure my kids are immunized.
I know my kids are immunized. COVID-19, that's not a requirement, right? The COVID shot at this point?
Right.
Okay.
It's not required. Differ between patient and patient. I think the FDA now is requiring the vaccine companies to give us more data on vaccinating children and its benefit versus risk. So that's still in the works.
And let me ask you, what are you seeing now with all these people that are coming in trying to make us last minute doctor's appointments before school starts? What are you seeing, and what are people asking?
Let's see. So it depends on the age. That's the wonder of my practice, is that I can go from a newborn to a 18-year-old. So it varies from room to room, and I love it. But I think the biggest influx right now is our high schoolers and junior high school, middle school age group, 7th grade and up. They need those sports physicals. So we're doing a lot of those type things. So we're talking a lot about sleep, the importance of sleep for good athletic performance, the importance of hydration, nutrition, and then lastly, I have to give a shout out to the importance of not drinking those caffeinated energy drinks. I think they are really harming our athletes, and they tend to really like them, but they dehydrate them, and they have, it's not a soda, it's not Coca-Cola or Pepsi, it's a whole new level of caffeine input.
She has a question from a mom who is the mother of a newborn and wants to know about taking them on a long trip. What exactly did she want to know on a long trip? Like, just, is it okay to do for a newborn? Okay. Yeah, okay.
Yes, so taking a newborn on a long ride, a car ride, it's probably the easiest age group to take. They sleep a lot, so that makes it easy.
Is it safe?
It is safe, so we first want to put the car seat in the car safely, make sure that we followed all the guidelines. We want to do schedule breaks about probably every 2-ish hours. Make sure we have a chance to feed and change the diaper and everyone stretch a little bit. Also very safe for the driver to take that break and then get back in. But the actual drive itself is safe.
I remember playing sharks and minnows with the kids. Any type of activity is better than no activity. And doing it as a group, as a family, I do feel like if your children see you be active, that they will want to be active. Whether it's participating in your school run walk club or exercising with mom and dad when they do their workouts together. I think that setting that example would be huge for the children that don't want to participate in athletics. Doesn't mean they can't be active.
Yeah. Yes, go ahead, Dr. Sauer.
I see a lot of inactive kids, and we're not all good athletes. Some of us just are not good at it. And so we feel like we don't want to do anything. And I'd love to get the parents out there doing stuff with their kids, but they're busy. They're working, so they don't have the opportunity. So I will sit there with the kids and tell them, it doesn't matter what you do. You can put on YouTube in your room and dance. Just dance with the YouTube music. You can go dog, you want to play with your dog, go outside, play a dog. You're a little older, go around, see if anybody needs their dogs walked and make money out of it. Or even see if you want to mow people's lawn for them. And there you get exercise and you get paid. So there's a lot of ways to get the exercise and the movement that's not in the sport or anything that's even really formal. And lastly, I try to say, if all bets are off, try to put something positive with this. You hate exercise, put something positive to it. Your parent has a treadmill or a stationary bike, watch a TV show, and don't watch that TV show unless you're on the equipment. That way, if you want to see the next episode, you got to get back on the treadmill.
Great idea. Great. And I want you to think now, because believe it or not, it's been an hour that we've been talking and sharing this important information. I want you to think just about that last piece of advice in each of your fields that you really think that people should take away with that can help them start their own journey into whatever it is that you feel is very important for them to know or for them to keep themselves healthy. So I'm going to start with you, Alan. Physical therapy, everybody thinks you got to be on equipment. I run down my street. I don't always feel like running. I've said to you, walking, yeah, I guess I could walk, but in my mind, walking's not the same. But you said that that's important.
Walking is probably the most underrated exercise out there. It's tremendous. It does, there's cardiovascular health. It's great for your back. Getting steps in and hydrating are two of the simplest things you can do for your health.
And I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's your go-to? You said these two things will help you.
100%.
Okay. All right. Dr. Worthy Thayer, help us out with the mental health.
So check in with yourself, check in with your kids. If something feels off, there's nothing wrong with seeking help. It doesn't mean you're broken because you're not a lamp, right? There's nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with getting a little bit of support and checking in for a little while to help you be the optimal version of yourself. And everything you do in between, hydrate, go to sleep, be kind to yourself. Sleep
is a big thing. It's so hard to shut everything off and get sleep. Dr. Sauer, you've got a plethora of topics here. So it may be hard to narrow down to just one, but if you got a couple, that's fine. Give them to us.
I summarize it in one word, and that's balance. I think as a parent, it's overwhelming. It's tremendous. And it in itself can be anxiety provoking. And I think just keeping the balance. Don't be hard on yourself. You're not going to be perfect. And, we focus on this for the next few weeks on how we're going to exercise in this family and how we're going to get out there and do things. And then that transitions to then our nutrition and our emotional. Everything's got its time. We can't do everything all at once. So it's going to be balanced. And then we have multiple kids, and even that. Am I favoriting one? Am I ignoring the other? Am I doing this right? Just the balance. Take it one step at a time and believe in yourself. You can do it. Gather the information and then make it work for you. Family dinner does not have to look the same in every single home. It can look different. So you make that achievement and you make it your own. So try to empower yourself and find your balance.
All right. This has been so awesome. I wish we could do it another hour. So Alan Weiss, Dr. Geraldine Worthy-Thayer, Dr. Cherie Sauer, thank you for that insight. Thank you for coming on a Saturday on your day off away from your families who are here. So thank you so much. And I hope you all have really benefited from some of the information that they were able to give you, and it at least helps you start on your journey to starting to be healthy, or maintaining your health and being inspired. Thank you for watching Discover the Joy of the Purdy Podcast. It's on YouTube. Subscribe, please. And if you like this idea, let me know, and we'll do more and connect you with specialists in the community. Thank you. All right.